Welcome back. You're with us for another deep dive, one tailored just for you, getting straight to the point.
That's right.
Today, we're looking at something, well, pretty dynamic. Elect Sounds Radio, or ESR. And specifically, it's ESR Directory, which seems to be growing fast within the Black and Hebrew communities.
Yeah, it's definitely making waves. We've basically looked at a YouTube video that introduces the directory,
Okay.
and then a whole lot of material from the ESR website itself. You know, their mission, what they offer, news.
And how the two parts work together, the station and the directory.
Exactly, especially how that functions as like a marketing strategy. It's quite clever.
So our goal today is really to unpack this. What is ESR? What's this directory? Why do they start it? How does it actually work? And, what's the potential impact?
Especially for entrepreneurs, creatives in those communities.
Right. We're hoping for some real aha moments here. Okay, let's just jump in. First off, Elect Sounds Radio itself.
Well, the first thing you notice is how they talk about it. It's not just a radio station.
Yeah.
They call it a movement, a digital hub. The focus is clearly on, let me see, spiritually centered music, creative empowerment, and community storytelling.
That's quite a statement. And you mentioned a specific purpose.
Yeah, very clear. It's stated right there on the site to glorify Yahweh and honor Yahusha.
Okay.
The idea is uplifting the community, the diaspora, through, well, spiritually rich content, cultural education, that kind of thing.
Right.
Community programming.
So it's aiming higher than just, say, entertainment. It's about elevation.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And they also make a point about fostering love and unity.
Even with different beliefs within the communities.
Apparently so. Respect across different practices. And they're using a digital-first approach, which makes sense given the growth.
Ah, the growth. Let's talk about that. It's pretty startling, right?
Right.
Launched around January 1st.
This year. And now they're saying 55 countries, 60,000 active listeners.
Wow. And didn't the source mention earlier numbers?
It did. Maybe the first month or so, it was 23 countries and about 3,000 listeners.
So 3,000 to 60,000 in, what, 6 months or less? That's incredible.
It really is. It suggests they've hit on something people were looking for.
Definitely tapping it into a need. What else does the platform offer? It's not just audio, right?
No, it's quite comprehensive. You've got the radio stream, obviously, but also news, different shows.
Like specific programs.
Yeah, specific shows, info on their team, events, music sections, top 10s, recently played tracks.
Artist profiles, too.
Artist profiles, yes. And interestingly, some virtual artists are mentioned, too. Plus media like videos, podcasts, contact forms, submission info. The works, really.
Okay, and those shows you mentioned, do the names give us a clue about the content?
They do seem to. There's Divine Assignments with Brosif Yahusef, Voices of Vision with Yavo, The Quiet Path, Hallelujah Hour, and Daybreak Devotions.
Sounds very spiritually focused, covering different angles, maybe.
Yeah, a decent range, it seems. And importantly, they're not just broadcasting at people. Well, they list artist services, business services like advertising options.
Ways to get involved.
Right, and even an ambassador program. It feels like they're actively trying to build out this network.
Makes sense. And you said donations are possible, too.
Yep. And the site explains how that supports the overall mission.
Okay, so that paints a pretty clear picture of ESR Radio. Expanding fast, digital, strong, spiritual, and community focus, lots of different content, plus ways to participate.
Exactly.
Now let's dig into this ESR directory. What's the story there?
So the YouTube video we looked at describes it as a, quote, living, breathing network.
For whom?
Specifically for creatives, visionaries, builders, that kind of terminology within the Black and Hebrew communities.
So artists, musicians.
Musicians, visual artists, photographers, beat makers, designers, poets, even app creators. It's a wide net.
And why create this directory? What's the problem it's trying to solve?
Visibility, mostly. The video transcript talks about how a lot of gifted people in these communities, they lack mainstream exposure.
Right. And they work in silos.
Yeah, kind of isolated. They might not connect with others who need their skills or who they could collaborate with. The feeling is mainstream platforms aren't really cutting it for them.
So build your own.
Pretty much. And they frame the directory as more than just a list. It's called a movement, a tool, a portal to connection.
A tool for who, exactly?
For artists and producers to get seen, but also for people looking for talent. Talent that, aligns with certain values or a shared purpose.
Got it. And how does it work practically? Is it expensive?
Well, right now it seems it's free to join, and it's all digital.
Oh, yeah.
The push is just Get your profile up, show your work, let fans and, crucially, potential collaborators find you, people who get what you're about.
There's a really strong message of empowerment in that, isn't there?
Absolutely. There's one line in the transcript that stood out. We are the culture, we are the curators, we are the gatekeepers of what's next.
Wow. That's powerful,
Uh,
taking ownership.
yeah, it's about self-determination, building their own ecosystem, not waiting for outside approval.
Okay, so we have the radio station providing the broad reach and the spiritual focus,
Mhm.
and the directory providing this focused network for creatives and builders. How do they work together? The sources mentioned a marketing angle.
Yes, very much so. They present the combination as a powerful, community-driven marketing ecosystem.
For Black entrepreneurs specifically.
That seems to be the focus, yeah. Rooted in culture, creativity, and technology. It's not just about ads.
Right. So how does ESR, the radio part, help businesses in the directory?
Well, they talk about brand visibility with purpose. Since ESR already has this
That's
audience.
60,000 listeners.
Yeah, right. An engaged audience, they can do things like on-air mentions of businesses in the directory, maybe interviews.
Oh, I see.
Even play music from directory artists during breaks. So you're reaching people who are likely already interested in what you offer.
Because they're tuned into ESR for a reason.
Exactly. Which leads to the next point. Authentic storytelling across channels. Meaning an entrepreneur can go on air, share their story, their why.
Build that connection.
Exactly. Build trust, and then point listeners directly to their full profile in the directory for more info or to connect.
That feels much more organic than just a typical ad spot.
It does. And then there's the targeted marketing with cultural context.
Okay, break that down.
The idea is that the ESR audience often shares or is looking for certain values, truth, integrity, empowerment, things often central to these Black-owned businesses.
So the marketing is happening within a space where the message is more likely to resonate culturally.
Precisely. The audience gets the context, and the directory then becomes this collaboration-ready environment.
Connecting the dots within the community.
Yeah, it's not static. It's where a producer might find that singer, or a business might find a graphic designer.
All within that shared value system.
Correct. And the radio station amplifies those possibilities, makes people aware of who's out there in the directory.
And you mentioned accessibility.
Yeah, automation and accessibility. Both platforms are designed to be fairly easy to use.
So even small entrepreneurs, maybe without big marketing budgets or tech teams, can still participate.
That seems to be the goal, lowering the barrier to entry.
There was an analogy used, wasn't there, about the voice and the village?
Yes, I liked that one. ESR is the voice, the ESR directory is the village.
That captures it well, the broadcast reach and the community hub. Can we make this even more concrete? Were there specific examples mentioned, like artists?
Yeah, the ESR site does list some artists' names like Brosef Yahusef, Queen Amuna, Jasmine Yara come up. It gives you a feel for who might be in the directory.
Okay. And what about the business side? Were there categories listed?
There's a section called the Business Opportunity Hub on the site.
Right.
And it shows categories like arts and entertainment, health and wellness, home service, things like that.
So it really shows the potential breadth. It's not just music.
Definitely not. It's aiming for a much wider range of skills and services within the community.
And interestingly, ESR itself is listed in that hub.
Yeah, ESR Music Group and Alex Sounds Radio are right there. They're part of their own ecosystem.
Which makes sense given they offer advertising and artist services. It's all interconnected.
Exactly. It reinforces that supportive loop they seem to be building.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. What are the key takeaways here?
Well, I think it's clear that ESR and its directory are together a really dynamic and obviously fast-growing platform.
With a very specific mission.
Absolutely. Empowering Black and Hebrew creatives, entrepreneurs. It's about community, visibility, collaboration.
All built on a foundation of shared values, spiritual or cultural.
That seems crucial to the whole thing.
And for our listeners tuning into this deep dive, what's the value?
Well, it's a fascinating look at a cultural and economic movement really taking shape right now.
Yeah, it's an innovative model for community building, for marketing in this digital age.
Definitely. And it's clearly working based on those growth numbers.
Which brings us to that final thought, maybe something provocative to leave people with.
Right. You look at this rapid growth, this clear mission, it makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Wonder what?
Well, could other communities, maybe other sectors, benefit from something similar, this kind of focused, integrated platform built around connection and empowerment?
What happens when you intentionally build an ecosystem based on shared identity or values?
Exactly.
Right.
What possibilities open up? It's certainly something to think about, the potential of that model applied elsewhere.
A very interesting question to ponder. A great place to leave it for today.